This conference will now be recorded.
Hello all, welcome back. Hope you are able to see my screen.
Yes, sir.
So still few people are unable to push the code, unable to commit the code. So you are getting some errors, right? So, and also yesterday some people asked me to show the installation, Git installation. Okay. So let us quickly go and check that. Okay, I'll show you how to install configure Git once again. Okay. Just simply you can type here download Git for Windows. So click on first URL, download Git for Windows, click on first URL. And you can download this portable version, Git for Windows portable version. You can download 64-bit Git for Windows portable. Okay. So once it is downloaded, you can just click on that exe file, click. That's it. So finally it will ask you to finish that. Okay. So if it is not working, so this portable version is not working. Okay. So I'll show you Linux on Linux EC2 instance. Okay, we can install configure this. Even Linux machine also we can configure this and we can work on that. Okay, I'll show you that. So if anyone unable to work on Windows machine, Windows version, you can take one EC2 instance. On top of that, you can install Git. Okay, I just launch instance. I'll show you on Linux also. I'll show you launch instance. You can take one RHCL version or Amazon Linux. So let us see one version here. Red Hat Enterprise Linux. So we can take this. Okay, RHCL. Select this. Security group. Yeah, now it is in running state. So connect through petty session, copy public IP. You can give key pair. So this is RHCL server, right? For Amazon Linux, what is the default user? Amazon Linux.
EC2 users.
EC2.
EC2-user. Ubuntu
Ubuntu.
only. CentOS
CentOS.
only. RHCL, Red Hat Enterprise Linux. So this is also EC2-user. RHCL also same user. Default user is EC2-user. Right? So Amazon Linux, RHCL, same user. Default user is EC2-user. Fine. So now, if you want to configure Git here, okay, first we need to update internal repository. Yeah, correct. Sudo yum update. So RHCL is Red Hat family, right? So we need to use yum command here. Sudo yum update. So normally RHCL we use in enterprise level, enterprise environments. So that is why it is bit slow, okay, compared with Ubuntu, Amazon Linux. You can take any server, not only this RHCL, you can take Amazon Linux or Ubuntu, CentOS. It's taking some time. So it is. Okay, let us go and create one Amazon Linux, but this is RCL. It is taking some time, right? Bit slow compared with the other machines. Let us quickly launch one instance. We can't wait that much of time. Select add storage, add tags, Git. We can do Git, just Git. Configure security group, launch instance, launch, acknowledge key pair. Now it is ready. Okay, fine. Anyways, we can use this. We can start this instance. Needed, we can start it again. No problem. Yeah. So once we update the inventory, so we need to install Git here. Okay. So command here to install Git, sudo yum install Git. Sudo yum install Git is the command to install Git. Yes. Git is installing. Yeah, Git is installed. Git ---- version. If you give this command, you will see the version. See here, Git version 2.27.0. Right. So once we install Git here, first we need to create one folder. The same way in Windows also we create one folder, right? Sudo mkdir workspace. Git workspace. We can view like this. Git workspace. Okay. Enter. So if you check ls, Git workspace is created here. So you need to go to this cd Git workspace ls. Right now, what we can do here. So when we create Git Init, exactly. First, when we create folder, so in that we open Git bash, right? The same way we no need to open here Git bash. So directly we can execute commands. Git Init is the command to initialize local workspace. Okay, sudo, we need to use sudo Git Init. See here, initialize empty Git repository. Okay, now you can add some file here, vi. Okay, before that you can use sudo vi ram.txt insert mode. Just hit I, it will show you insert mode. This is right? Escape, shift colon, save and quit, shift colon, WQ, save and quit, right? Now if you check Git status, it is showing a red color, means still development is going on, right? Now next command, what is the command? If you want to move staging,
Git adds.
git add space dot. Now it is moved to so
This gives us
permission denied. Done. So we move to staging. Now if you check git status, so the file is showing green color, right? Now you can commit this. So we need to use sudo for every command. We need to use sudo git commit -m commit message. Some commit message you can provide. Enter. Yeah. So now if you check git log here, git log, say here, it has taken author as root. Okay, we need to create one user. So author is a root. If you log in as a user in your laptop, that username it will take. Otherwise, it will take by default root. Okay, so this is commit ID. Okay, this is user. This is timestamp where we perform this. Who did changes? When did changes? What purpose they did changes? Okay, so this will, yeah, when we execute git log, it will provide you all these details. Okay, now if you want to push this, yeah, if you want to push this file to GitHub, okay, so I'll show you. So just open GitHub. So this is our repository, right? So I want to create one more repository, new repository. So click on new. Test repo. I'm just giving test repo, right? Public repository, create repository. Okay, this is the URL. Copy this. '39 test repo. So we have this. Okay. Fine. Now this is our test repo. So what is the command to establish the connection?
Git remote add version.
Git remote add origin
Here
URL, right?
you need to give the sudo.
Permission denied, right? So we need to give sudo. Always we need to give sudo. Done. Now we can simply push our code to remote repository.
Sir, we need to create user, na?
Yeah, first time we need to create user. First time when we initialize, so we need to create user. What is the command to create user?
Git
I gave you
config.
commands. Exactly. Git config space -- global
Username dot name.
user dot name in double quotes username, right? The
Yes.
same way email ID also we need to update. Yeah, fine. Now we need to push this code to GitHub, for which command here is git push -u origin to master.
Don't forget sudo.
Yeah, sudo. Yeah, we need to use sudo. So here username, it is asking GitHub username. So when we use Linux mission, so it will ask you username. So we need to give GitHub username. So we need to enter username, and now it is asking password. Now it is pushing to GitHub. After fixing the error, pause, may try fix. Okay, let us go quickly. Then we can check whether it is. Yeah, done. It is pushed. See here, ram.txt. Right? So if it is not working in your Windows laptop, you can take one EC2 instance, Linux machine. Okay, in that you can install Git and you can work on that. So it's very simple. Don't confuse. Okay, so you can go through this video. If you are unable to use portable installation in Windows, you can take one EC2 instance. On top of that, you can update the repository, internal repository. Then you can install Git. After that, you can create one folder, move to inside of the folder, Git Init. Then you can create some files, establish connection, right? You can push the file. So any questions up to here, anyone? Is it clear to you? Fine. So still, if you have any questions, you can WhatsApp me. So we'll see that. Fine. So today we are going to cover 4 scenarios, real-time scenarios, which are very important. Okay. So yesterday we discussed about one scenario. Right. So we have 4 scenarios which are real-time scenarios. Let us start one by one. So I terminate these servers. I don't want to use Linux one. I want to use Windows. Fine. So let us go on quickly. So I create one folder here. Scenario 1. Scenario 1 already we discussed yesterday. So again, so quickly you can recap this. Scenario 1. Open this folder. Right click here. Git bash here. So now Git Init. Okay. Fine. So when any new developer joined into the project, so we need to provide KT to the new member, right? So we need to guide them properly. As a DevOps engineer, so we have to guide them, new developer joined. Okay. So first you need to download latest code from your local, latest code from GitHub to your local. So on top of that, you can create some files, you can update, you can create some code, you can start the development, right? So this is the GitHub URL you can take, and you can download latest code into local, right? So by the time these developers will do some mistakes, okay, they don't follow process. By the time, how to identify that issues, okay? So we'll try to understand now. Fine. So first developer join. This is first scenario. Okay. First developer join. Yeah. So we guide them. We already gave KT. Okay. How is doing his work? So we'll try to understand. Our repository is this one, right? Yeah. This one is our repository. So once we upload some files, if you want to copy URL, go to code here. So this is our URL, right? So copy this, copy it. Now I want to establish the connection. Once I initialize this, I want to establish the connection, for which command here is git remote add origin URL. Right? So now I want to pull this code into my local. Now the command here is, so to pull code into local, git pull origin master. Right? Now if you check ls here, so this is the code which is available in GitHub that I downloaded into my local. So now what I can do, so on top of this, developers should start the development. So without latest code, they should not start any development. If they start and if they try to push, what will happen in, we'll see in next scenario. Okay, fine. On top of this, developer started development, vi code.txt insert this is something escape shift colon save and quit wq. So now if you check git status, so it will show you red color. Now git add space dot moving to staging. Now I want to commit this code, git commit -m commit message. Right? So now git push -u origin to. Now if you check here git log, first we'll check git log. So we have four commits here because one file we committed 2 times, okay, and this file is latest one. This commit is latest commit. Okay, we have 4 commits, 4 commit IDs. Now I want to push this code to GitHub. Git push -u origin to master. Now the code is pushing to GitHub. Done. So you can go to GitHub, refresh here. See here. 1 minute ago. Code.txt. Right? So this is the way developers should start the development. First, they need to download latest code into local. Then on top of that only, they need to start the development. Right? Fine. So this is first scenario. This is normally what will happen in real projects. Okay. So let us go and check second scenario. So this is from here, it is important. Second scenario. I can remove this, delete this. So create new folder. Scenario 2. Open this folder. Right click here. Git bash here. Okay, so new developer joined into the project. We gave KT how to start his work. We explained everything, but what he's doing, how he is starting his work. Okay, fine. Git init, initialize the Git, initialized local workspace. So after that, he haven't download into his local that latest code. He started his development. Without latest code, he started his development. Vi code1.txt. So vi code1.txt, he started development. Okay, without latest code, he started the development. Enter insert mode, not pull code. Escape, save and quit. Okay, So he added some file without any latest code. Now he's trying to move to staging. Git add space dot git commit -m commit message. Okay. So now he's trying to establish the connection and he's trying to push the code into GitHub. So in this case, what will happen without latest code? We will try to understand. So it's establishing the connection. Copy URL here. Git remote, add origin, remote repository URL. He established the connection. Now he's trying to push this code into GitHub. Git push -u origin to master. Okay, so what are the challenges we face? So we'll try to understand here. Enter. Now what it is saying? So fail to push some references to GitHub repo. Updates were rejected because the remote containing work that you do not have locally. So remote work you don't have locally. So for this we'll get fast forward errors. Okay. So without latest code, it will not allow you to push the code into GitHub. Okay. So this is a real-time challenge. So developers will not follow process. So we explain everything, we guide them properly, but they don't follow the process. So in this case, while pushing the code into GitHub, if it is not pushing directly, developers will come to you. Okay, I'm unable to push the code into GitHub. They will tell you like that. In this case, what we need to do? So what is the error you are facing? Yeah, go ahead.
We need to pull back the previous code and try to push it again.
How can we pull? Pull also not, it will not allow. I'll show you. Okay. Pull
Sir,
also it will
I
not.
tried it.
You tried?
Yes, sir.
Some fixes are there. Yeah, some fixes are there. Yeah, we can work on that. Okay, slowly. But others, they don't know, right? That is why. So we can go one by one. Okay, some comments are there. We can use that. Okay. So normally, so when developer face this issue, he will come to you directly. So what the error you got? We need to ask them. Okay. So they will tell you fast forward errors or updates were rejected, something. So we need to ask them to send through email, take screenshot, error screenshot, and send it to me. So as a DevOps engineer, so we need to control them. Otherwise, what will happen? So we should not enter into any development part. We should not execute any commands. We should not write any code. As a DevOps engineer, we need to give proper guidance to the developers, and so we need to ask the error messages, right? So he will send you, developer will send you error message. So by the time we need to tell them, so without latest code, you started the development. That is why it is not allowed. It is not allowing. And also this is interview question. Okay. So interviewer will ask you, one developer want to push the code into GitHub. By the time he's getting fast forward errors. What is the issue? So by the time we need to explain, like, so without latest code, without pulling latest code, he started development and he's trying to push the code into GitHub. Okay, so this is one scenario. Any questions here? So whenever we see
Sir,
any
how to
fast
fix
forward, I'll explain you. Don't worry, I'll explain. Okay. We can use git clone and different comments are there. I'll provide you all the comments. Okay, don't worry. Yeah, this is one scenario. Second scenario. So when you see this comment, fast forward errors, you can identify that without latest code is trying to push into GitHub. Okay, close this. Next, third scenario. So in third scenario, it's a different way. Scenario 3. Open this folder. Right click here. Git bash here. Yeah. So third developer. So the same way we gave some KT. So first you need to pull latest code into local. Then you need to start your work. But what he's doing, okay? Git Init, initialize the local workspace. Now, without latest code, he started development. Vi code2.txt, insert, not full codes. You can write here. Save and quit. Now he's adding into staging. Git add space dot git commit -m commit message something, enter. So now once he's committed his code, whatever code developed by that user, once committed this, so after that is trying to pull the code into local. Okay, so now he's trying to establish the connection but between GitHub and Git, local Git and GitHub. Git remote add origin and URL. Now he's establishing the connection. So now he's trying to pull the code. Okay, he already added some files. So in previous scenario, once commit the code, he was trying to push, right? So in this scenario, he's trying to pull once committed the code. So command here is git pull origin master. What it is saying, it is not pulling. So fatal error it is showing fatal error. So giving error like refusing to merge unrelated histories means, so already some commit IDs are there inside of your local workspace. So if you create any commit IDs, if you commit any code, so after that, if you try to pull code from GitHub, it will not allow. It will give you fatal errors, refusing to merge unrelated histories. Okay, this is also one of the scenario. Okay, so this is also interview question. So one of the developer is trying to pull the code into local, unable to pull. So by the time, so we need to ask interviewer what the error is facing. Is facing fatal error, refusing to merge unrelated histories. So by the time we need to identify that. Okay, so without latest code, he started development. So he's having some commit IDs in his local. In local Git is having some commit IDs. That is why it is not allowing to pull, right? So Git always check commit IDs. Git always check. It will work based on commit IDs only. Always check, right? So that is why we need to ask them interviewer like what the error, right? This is very, very important. So many of the developers will face these issues. So they don't follow process. So they start their own. So after that, while pulling or while pushing the code, they will face the issues. They will directly come to you. So I'm unable to pull the code into local, unable to push the code into GitHub. Okay, fine. This is one of the scenario. Here, there is no latest code, unable to pull, right? So only one file is there, which I created here. This is another scenario. So one more scenario we have, real-time scenario. So which is scenario 4, fourth scenario. Git bash here. Git Init. Okay, fourth developer. So he got some KT. So what he's doing? So we'll try to understand. So without latest code, he started development. Vi code 4.txt. Okay, so just insert, just I save and quit. He added some file here. Okay, one file is added here. Now he realized that I need to pull the code into local. Without latest code is not available in my local. So I want to pull the code into local. He created already one file. Okay, now he's establishing the connection. Git remote add origin GitHub URL. So he established the connection. So now he's trying to pull the code. Git pull origin master. So in this scenario, can he pull this code into local or not? This fourth scenario.
I think we can.
Yes, we can.
We can pull, right? Why we can pull?
Because he have not committed
There
the
is no
code.
commit actually.
Exactly.
Code was not committed yet.
Correct. So Git always will check commit IDs only, right? So he added some file but not yet committed. So without commit is trying to pull into local, that latest code. So in this scenario, Git will allow you to pull the code into local. Git pull origin master. Right now, if you check ls here, latest code is pulled into local. Right. So this is another scenario. So these four scenarios are very important. Okay. Now we have one small concept. Still we have 13 minutes, right? So we cover one small concept, which is Git stashing. Okay, Git stashing. So when we have any code in our local, okay, by the time so when we committed the code, after that, so if you face any issues, okay, someone asked me some question, right? How to fix this issue? Okay, so using stash, you can fix that issue. So I'll show you that. Okay. So create one folder, Git stashing. Open Git bash here. What is stashing? We'll try to understand first. Yeah. So here scenario is just we'll go through scenario wise. Okay. Scenario is some development is going on. So I'm working on some development activity. So normally we don't work on development activity, just developer activity. Okay. So some development activity is going on. 50% of the development is completed. So the developer is in middle of the development. So he's working on middle of the development, right? So by the time manager came to the developer and he gave new requirement. So he can, existing activity can keep it aside and you can take this new requirement. The requirement is very urgent. You can complete this first, then you can go to next one, previous one. So in that scenario, what we will do normally? So we are working on some requirement, 50% of the required activity is completed. So middle of the activity, manager came to you or lead came to you and gave new activity. So he's asking you to complete first this new requirement, then you can resume previous one. So by that time, what we will do normally we have two scenarios here. First one is, so we should complete first activity, then you can take second activity, or else we need to roll back first activity completely, then we need to start the second activity. Two ways, right? So but here we have, using git stash we can achieve this requirement. Using git stashing we can achieve this. How can we achieve this? We'll try to understand. Git init. You understand the scenario, right? Everyone understand, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Git init.
Yes.
Now I'm adding some file here. vi code5.txt. Insert file something. Save and quit. Okay. Now git add space dot git commit -m commit message test. Okay, I committed this code. So again I want to edit this vi code5.txt. Insert mode. Save and quit. Okay. Now if I check here git status, it will show you red color. So I'm in middle of the development. For example, I'm in middle of the development, right? So now I got new requirement. Manager came to me and he gave new requirement. So by the time, so if I take that requirement, if I work on that, if I add into staging, if I commit that code, so this code will also be, it will also, some disturbance will be happen, right? So if I push the code, it will also push. Sometimes some errors will be appear here. In that situation, how can we achieve this? Using stashing, we can achieve this. How can we achieve this? First, what I need to do, first I want to hide this code. First, I want to stash this code. If I stash this code, the code will be available in my local Git, but it will not show. It will not appear here. Okay. So I'm stashing this code. Git stash. I'm stashing this. Okay. So git stash. Just give command here is git stash. Okay. Enter. Now it is stashed. This code is stashed. Now if you check git status, nothing is available. But it is there in my inside of my local workspace, but it is not showing anything here. Okay, nothing to commit. Right now, what I can do, I can take new requirement vi stash.txt. This is stash testing, escape, save and quit. Right. So I created some file, new requirement, and I am moving to staging. Git add space dot. Now I am committing this git commit -m commit message. I committed this code. Okay, so new requirement I have taken and I completed that requirement, add into staging, committed the code. It is done. Now I can resume my previous work. Okay, so for which command here is git stash space pop. If I want to resume previous work, See here. Now it is resumed. Git status. See here. Code5.txt is available now. Now we can move into staging. Git add space dot git commit -m some commit message. Like this we can commit. We can achieve using stash. If you are working on any requirement, if any developer is working on requirement, so sometimes what will happen, some requirements which are very urgent, very important. By the time, so managers and leads assigned to developers. By the time, using stash, they can achieve these requirements. Okay, got it right? Any questions, anyone?
Yeah, Ram, if we have more than one stash, if more than one developer having these things, then how can we handle
More than
if,
one file.
Yeah, more than one stash edition. It's like if 2 or 3 developers are having same, and they do like so, and they're having different changes, and then they did stashes. Okay, they did stash. Okay, it means like now if a particular developer wants to get his code to, it means like again to local, and how to identify his stash ID and how to do it.
Yeah.
You got
so
my question?
Yeah, got it. Yeah, actually, every developer will have only one workspace. So you will have your laptop. You will have only one workspace. Other developers will have his laptop or desktop. He will have his workspace, right? So while working on parallel development or any other activities, so for example, one developer got new requirement, or else 2 developers got the same requirement. By the time, whatever activity is already ongoing, using stash in their local workspace, they can stash it. It will allow without any issues. Then you can take new requirement.
Okay,
Without
okay.
any
It will
issues,
be
it will have. Yeah,
local, right?
local. Yeah, every developer will have their own local workspace.
Okay,
Fine?
okay. And if same developer do some different, it means like if you do 2 or 3 times, and if you want in middle of the work, it means like second one you want to get it. If
Okay.
that is the case.
Yeah, we can stash it. It will allow.
It means like we stop only one commit, only latest one will come. All whatever he given stash, all the details will come here. Here
Yeah,
we use this pop,
whatever
right?
files are there, that will be stashed when we use stash command.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, my question is like, see, the developer will be like, see, today he started one work and he stopped it, and then he worked on something. And tomorrow he started on some other work, and then he stashed his work, and then again he went to some other new feature. And day after tomorrow, on 3 days, he given 3 times stash, and he want the second stash to be come up. He wants second stash to be committed. So that time,
Right.
how can he take this second stash only? Second stash.
Fine. So can you repeat your question? First day, one stash he performed and he committed. Okay.
No, he commit. Okay, and second day he came to on his work, and then he did second stash, and then he moved. Okay,
right.
And then third day also he started working on some other feature, and then he stopped on it and he stashed it, and then he went to some other new feature. So he's having parallelly 3 stashes are there, right? So if you want to go for second stash, what he stashed on second day, you want to commit, he wanted to work on that second day work, second day stash, and then he want to commit. If we give pop only latest, it means like third day stash only will come, or complete all stashes data will come. all
Yeah,
stash.
when he give pop command, so all will appear. Whatever stashes are there, all will come out. Okay.
Okay.
So to fix the to customize that, we'll have some comments. I'll explain that. Don't worry. Okay. So when we use pop, everything will be appear here. So I'll provide you some comments and I explain that. So we can customize. We can customize that. Okay. Fine. So it's already 9. So we can stop here for today. Yeah. Go ahead, please.
My doubt is, so for example, for instance, a developer pull the code from GitHub and he started working on the development. So he has written a code and to the GitHub. Later on, if he wants to edit that file, I mean that code, so he needs to pull that code from GitHub and then write that, I mean edit that code, and can he push back the same code? I mean, can he follow this procedure?
Actually, in GitHub, we should not edit the code. That is not recommended way. So when developer want to edit any code, he need to pull into local. So in local only, you need to change. You need to do the changes. Okay. In GitHub, the changes should not be allowed. It is not recommended. Not allowed means it is not recommended. We can do the changes in GitHub also, but that is not recommended way. In GitHub, we should not edit the code. It will allow that.
So the developer, I mean, he himself should pull that code from GitHub and edit. After that, again, he needs to push to GitHub, right?
Exactly.
But that's fine, sir. So he can pull that code whenever he wants to pull.
Yes, he can pull anytime. Okay, fine. So we stop here for today. So if you have any questions, you can take screenshot and you can post into the group. So if you have any other questions, we'll see tomorrow. Okay.
Is there any code? Is there any code to delete the branch?
Branches you can delete, right? You can delete branches. So branches you can delete. So whenever the development project is completed, by the time what we will do normally in real projects, so we'll convert into tag whatever code is available in that branch. We'll convert into tag and we'll delete the branch. So in GitHub, if you keep the code as it is, that is pricing, right? GitHub is normally in real projects we use private repositories. We don't use public repositories. GitHub also pricing. So to reduce the pricing, so we convert into tags and you can delete the branches. I'll show you that. Branch delete. How to delete the branch? I'll show you. Don't worry. Okay.
Yeah, sure.
Fine. So we stop here for today. So tomorrow we'll work on different concepts. Okay. Fine. Thank you all.
Yeah, Ram. One more thing. The solutions for these 3 scenarios will be discussed later.
This is one solution actually. So stashing is one solution. Okay. Remaining tomorrow I'll explain. Okay.
Oh.
Yeah. Fine. Thank you all.